When I was growing up, I had a very childlike faith. I just remember Jesus being really real to me.
I grew up as an only child, and my dad traveled a lot, so my mom was left to kind of be both parents.
Youngest sibling, the only girl of 3 older brothers, and I had a great childhood.
I was abused as a child. This caused a lot of confusion for me.
As I grew up around middle school, I started to want to fit in, so I started doing really anything I could in order to fit in. I think that's when I began going downhill.
When I was 12, my parents got divorced, and it was kind of a surprise to me.
I began to internalize these things as it was my fault, that I'm not good enough and I don't matter.
My freshman year of high school is when I first found out that my dad had stage 4 colon cancer.
Right before my 16th birthday, my uncle committed suicide. After that, things just weren't really ever the same.
My anxiety peaked. I became depressed, developed PTSD. I went to the hospital 3 times because I just wasn't okay. And while I was there, my psychiatrist began to groom me for an inappropriate relationship.
When I was 17, I became involved in a bad relationship. That relationship really just put me down a lot. Ultimately, it's what led me into drug addiction. And I just really hated myself, and I was really disgusted with the person that I had become.
And it was a Friday night. They kind of told me my dad had a certain amount of hours, that he wasn't going to make it through the night. My dad passed that morning on August 8, 2011.
Spend today in a conversation in the mirror, face to face with somebody less than perfect. I wouldn't choose me first if I was looking for a champion. In fact, I'd understand if you picked everyone before me. But that's just not my story. True to who you are, you saw my heart and made something out of nothing. So I don't need my name in lights. I'm famous in my father's eyes. Make no mistake, he knows my name. I'm not living for applause. I'm already so adored. It's all his stage. He knows my name. He knows my name.
It was my senior year of high school. I started just losing a lot of weight and not paying attention and not really caring. Soon after that, I started self-harming, and that just led me down a deeper path of destruction. I got really sick, and my mom decided that it would be best for me to go to the hospital.
I felt deep within that this wasn't okay, and just with my mental status, and just he turned it and put the responsibility back on me. I was discharged and I left his house and went to commit suicide again because I was just so devastated.
I thought that I had no worth. I had no true friends around me. I pushed my family away from me. I began stealing and shoplifting and just doing whatever I could to make it through the day. During that time, I knew God was there and I knew that he existed, but I really just didn't think he wanted anything to do with me. I thought I was unredeemable. I thought he was nowhere in sight. Little did I know he was right by my side that whole time, and he was there. He was guiding me closer to him, and I didn't even know.
I just had to be strong. And so I didn't really allow myself time to grieve at all. Right around my junior years, when I just started partying a lot and drinking a ton, then I thought it was just a phase, but really it was just me numbing every feeling. My relationship with God was, after my dad died, was completely non-existent. Week after I graduated high school, I found out that I was 5 months pregnant.
It was just a very depressing and lonely place. Didn't really make things any better for me. until one night that I almost committed suicide. And that's when I finally decided that I needed to go to Mercy.
I came to 25, 26 hours later, and he picked me up at the hotel. To make matters even more complicated and just more a deeper sense of guilt and shame, because I didn't have a place to live, he invited me to live with him, and I stayed there. I drove to where my parents live, 16 hours away, and waited until I heard back from Mercy Ministries. In January of 2011, I walked through the doors of Mercy Ministries, and I knew everything was going to be okay. I didn't know what to expect, but I just knew.
I was in a house just with a bunch of people, and a scary situation happened to me. And I remember just afterwards, I was just done with it, and I was looking at my life, and I just realized that I wanted more out of my life. And I called my dad and had him come pick me up, and he took me home, and him and my mom walked me through the rest of the application process to Mercy.
My world crashed, and I didn't know what to do. I hated myself, and I was really disappointed in myself, and I thought horrible things, and so I was really lost and broken, and I didn't know what I was going to do. I knew I needed to go somewhere other than my home to deal with everything that was going on with me.
I'm not meant to just stay quiet. I'm meant to be a lion. I'll roar beyond a song with every moment that I've got. True to who you are, you saw my heart and made something out of nothing. I don't need my name in lights. I'm famous in my Father's eyes. Make no mistake, He knows my name. I'm not living for applause. I'm already so adored. It's all His stage. He knows my name.
When I was at Mercy, I learned and grew so much. Not only did I learn more about myself in the process, but learned more about God, and I am now able to pursue a degree in social work and hopefully work with children and help them. God is my rock, God is my strength, and that He has overcome so much more than I have ever. That to me is what freedom has looked like.
The healing that the Lord has done in my life, the journey of going back and facing things and knowing that my voice does matter, that I do have the confidence that I don't have to allow the things of the past to dictate my future and limit me.
I remember the staff there just continually showing me God's love and telling me how much I was worth to Him, and telling me that I had a purpose in my life. After Mercy, I moved home and I began a ministry school through my church. Through what God's done in my life, I really just have developed a desire to show people that they are worth something, and that they can have a future, and that they're worth everything, and that they're loved, and that they can be free.
I came to Mercy with a ton of broken dreams about my future, and God since then has provided me with scholarships for school. He's provided me with a vehicle, so it's been a lot easier, and it's been great.
He calls me chosen, free, forgiven, wanted, child of the King. His forever, held in treasure. I am loved. I don't need my name in lights. I'm famous in my Father's eyes. I don't need my name in lights. I'm famous in my Father's eyes. Make no mistake, He knows my name. I'm not living for applause. I'm already so adored. It's all His stage. He knows my name.
My name is Taylor.
My name is Leslie.
My name is Shannon.
My name is Alma, and He knows my name.